Hey everyone, it's me, Matt. Welcome back to my Florida garden. I hope you're all doing great, and I hope you're ready to garden with me today because in today's video, we're tackling a spring planting project. If you saw my video last week, I gave you a sneak peek at all the beautiful plants I picked up at the garden center, and today we're getting them in the ground. So let's get into it. So jumping right into it, here are the beautiful plants that we'll be working with today. So I figured that we would use these plants to plant up my front porch seasonal containers in my front yard. So here in the back, these are actually trailing pansies. Originally, when I saw them at the garden center, I thought that they were violas, but they are in fact trailing pansies. And then here in the middle, I've got the more traditional pansies. You can see the flowers are much larger than the trailing pansies in the back. You can see right there, pansy. So these big, beautiful plants are gonna look so great in the front porch containers. And then I also picked up some of this beautiful Dusty Miller. And I think that these three plants will be a great accent to the wire vine that's already in the containers. If you saw my videos over the last few weeks, then you know here in Florida we had a hard freeze come through earlier this month and it killed a lot of plants. And my front porch containers were originally filled with begonias and coleus. And those begonias and coleus did not make it, but the wire vine did. So I figured I'd replace what was in there from the fall with these beautiful plants. So before we get started, I kind of wanted to give you a look at some of the planting projects that I tackled this morning. Sorry, there is a plane taking off. Always, like clockwork, a plane takes off the minute I turn on the camera. So anyways, I kind of showed you these plants in last week's video. What do we have here? I've got a jalapeno plant right here, big, beautiful, or it'll be big and beautiful. It's smelling beautiful at the moment. This right here is mojito mint, or mint mojito plant. It smells so good. I wish you could smell it through the camera. Here I planted up my strawberry container with some beautiful strawberries. There's actually a little guy right there. But if you're familiar with the growth habit of strawberries, they send out runners, and this pot is designed specifically for strawberries. So as those runners come off the main plant here, you can tuck them into these other little planting holes. So over time, this entire pot will be filled with some beautiful strawberry plants. Coming up to my raised beds here, I replaced the celebrity tomato that died in the hard freeze. So I got a new one planted here. The cherry tomato over here, this is a husky cherry tomato. It survived the hard freeze. These containers and all the plants here were covered. I actually haven't moved my pineapples or my schefflera out of this spot yet, but I'll get those moved maybe this weekend. But yeah, this whole area was covered under a frost cloth, and this one tomato didn't make it, but you can see I've got a new one planted in, and hopefully the cold weather is behind us. And you know, it's, what is it, today's the 27th of February. We're coming into March, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's full steam ahead with spring. I also came in here and planted some basil. So there's a basil plant here and another one over here. If you saw my short from a few days ago, I actually picked these basil plants up from Publix, which is a grocery store chain here on the East Coast. Each container, they were selling them, it was two plants for $7, and each plant had easily, I don't know, 6 to 8 individual plants in each container. So this is one container of plants that I divided into both beds. So I still have a whole other container of beautiful basil plants. But if you know anything about companion planting, it's said that it's really good to plant basil and tomatoes together. The basil plants are supposed to enhance the flavor of the tomatoes. So I'm doing that, right? We got them all companion planted here. Coming over here, I did want to give you an update on the seeds that I started. So there's no germination yet. We had some really cold nights, so the soil, I'm sure, wasn't very warm, but hopefully, you know, the temperatures are warming up and these plants should start to germinate in the next few days. I'm hopeful for that. So let's see. Over here in these containers, I've got these beautiful Excelsior mix foxgloves. You can see the kind of peach tones, the whites and the reddish pinks. In the center here, I've got these beautiful Tom Thumb mixed colors straw flowers. So you can see all the beautiful colors there. And then this last little section here, I've got these beautiful sweet peas. So these are the Sweet Dreams mixed colors. You can see the purples, the maroons, the whites. So I'm really excited about these. And again, like I said, I'm hopeful that they will start popping up, germinating through the soil over the next few days now that the weather is warming up. So let me quickly take you into the front yard. I'll show you our work area, and then I'll also show you some little plant projects I tackled this morning as well. So coming up to the front, I've got my little gold dust plant here. You can see I've got it planted in this little red container. I love the contrast with the yellow flowers and the red pot. And then over here, I planted my, what is this, the bromeliad. I picked this bromeliad up at Walmart for like $1. It had some frost damage, but the plant is still very much alive. But you can see I've got it planted in this old terracotta pot. I think it looks really good. And then moving on to today's project, these are the two containers that we're going to be working with. I got one here and one here. You can see everything else is dead except for the wire vine. The wire vine is looking gorgeous, trailing out of these containers. So we'll get these plants all planted up with some new beautiful flowers just in time for spring. So I think I'm going to do the planting project in the backyard using the table as kind of my potting bench, because I threw my back out at the gym last night, and I originally thought that I'd just drag everything over here and kind of work in the mulch, but I think I want to do it at waist level. So let me quickly grab these containers and we'll move everything into the backyard and we'll get started. And again, sorry about the plane noise. There's actually an executive airport about 2 miles from my house, and we've got a storm system that's crossing the state. It's coming from the west coast, blowing over the peninsula to the east coast. So the wind direction, because of the wind direction, the planes are taking off into the wind. Normally they don't take off over my house, but right now I feel like because of that wind direction, the flight pattern is coming right over my house. And of course, I'm outside trying to film right as I've got these wind conditions. So please bear with me. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But anyways, yeah, like I said, let's move the containers here from my front porch into my backyard, and we will get them all planted up with beautiful flowers. So it looks like the drip irrigation actually ran about an hour ago. So these plants, these containers, actually the soil is really wet. So I won't have to water them in, which will be nice. So to start off, we're gonna remove all the plants that are dead or looking pretty much dead. So we're just gonna leave the wire vine here. So let me just pull these out. Just throw them there for now. Try and make some room here for these new plants that you can all see. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plant them up so that the wire vines are here in the front. We're gonna put one of the pansies here toward the back. And then we'll do a white pansy here and a dusty miller here. And then we're gonna do the reverse on this side so that they're a mirror image. That way there's some symmetry at the front door. And we'll put the white pansy on this side and the dusty miller there. So this should be pretty easy. Like I've got my little shovel right here. I've got some soil if I need it. And then I've also got some plant tone fertilizer. So we're gonna definitely amend the soil here with this plant tone. All these flowers are heavy feeders and they will definitely appreciate the plant food. So let's get started. stuff stinks. If you've ever smelled plant tone fertilizer, just fertilizer in general, it's not a very pleasant smell, and I feel like it lingers on your fingers for days after you use it. Just sprinkled a little bit in the planting hole. Just stir it in, or mix it in rather. I go a little deeper with that hole. All right, one down, one to go. So there we go. There's a plane flying over, of course. Just trying to just give it a moment. So there we go. My containers are all planted. It was a very simple project. I love, 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 love this color combination. I love the trailing wire vines. I love the white and the purples here on the pansies. I wanted to say violas, pansies. And I love the Dusty Miller. So let's move these up to my front porch and we will wrap up this video, show you kind of the after shot with everything in place. So there we go. This little planting project is complete. I actually went inside and grabbed a paper towel so that I could wipe down the containers. I didn't realize how dirty they were, but I love, love, love how these containers turned out. Like I said, I love the plant combination. I love the wire vine. I love it all. So these plants are hooked up to my drip irrigation. You might have noticed that I tucked the little drip emitters. It's these little black, this black tubing into the center of the pots. The other one is right here. These, the drip system runs every 2 days for 10 minutes. So these plants will get adequate water. And then also off camera, I sprinkled some of this organic Captain Jack's bug and slug killer. This is for organic gardening. The active ingredients are iron phosphate and spinosad. It'll help with earwigs, cutworms, snails, and slugs, which I feel like I've got so many slugs and snails in my garden and they always attack all my plants. So this should help prevent that pest damage. You can kind of see little granules here on top of the soil. So you just go in and sprinkle this in about every 4 weeks. Yeah, it says it's effective for up to 4 weeks and it is safe to use around people and pets after it's been applied. So yeah, here's one last little look at my new front porch containers. This is one project of many at getting my Florida garden back to good. All the frost damage, all the freeze damage is really, my garden's looking terrible. It did a number, the cold weather did a number on all my plants. So anyways, I'm happy to say that I've tackled one little project and gotten it off my to-do list today. So anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It looks like I got this planting project done right on time because I can see some dark clouds on the horizon. That thunderstorm is getting ready to roll in. I'm glad I finished it before the rain started. So I'm gonna head into my backyard. I'm gonna clean up all my mess back there off camera, but I hope I've inspired you to plant up some beautiful spring containers in your garden. Like I said, today is February 27th. I think I said that. Today is February 27th. March 1st is right around the corner, which means spring is here, at least in Florida. So anyways, if you haven't already done so, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you can hang out with me in future videos. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.